Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to Disc Golf Chat, and today we have a very special guest returning, Sheliemae Lai. Shelly, how you doing?
Hi, Daryl. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. It's always a pleasure to have you. And big news, finished 7th in an Elite Series Plus event, Elite Plus event, which had the toughest hole in the history of disc golf. 18 in Sprinkle Valley. We will definitely be getting into that and so much more. Shelly, what's been going on since we last had you on before Worlds last year?
Yeah, so last time we talked, I had just finished Worlds. I don't remember what I finished. Let me check. I have it all up here. Let's see. So since Worlds, I went to the East Coast and I played in an A tier, that Carolina Clash. Did all right. I think the big one to mention is the Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship. I finished 32nd, really close to cashing. That was Winthrop is such a fun course. I can't wait to go back. I hope I go back. I hope I qualify again this year. Yeah, that was my first time getting to play with Paige Pierce. It was a dream come true. But yeah, I just wish there was one hole that got me. And so I think, I mean, we'll talk about Sprinkle Valley later, but I can relate and to what a lot of the players are feeling right now after finishing the Open at Austin. There's always that one hole that you just like really wish you just did something different or played better or prepared for it better, whatever the reason is, there's just like that one hole that will like haunt you. And so I had that at Winthrop.
Do you know which hole that was, by the way? Because it wasn't 17, I'm guessing.
It wasn't 17. It was the one, I can't remember which hole, but it was like big fairway with a lot of circular OBs. And then at the very end, if you weren't inbounds, you'd have to rethrow from where you were at. And I kept trying to go over. You don't take it in from where you went OB. You just.
That might have been like 12 or so.
Something like that.
Because I think the arena was up on the hill beside it.
Yes, that's the one. So right before that.
All
news.
All right, go ahead. What's that?
Oh, no, I was just saying. But anyway, that was old news, Winthrop. We'll worry about Winthrop when it comes in this year.
I was down there with you during your practice round. First time I've been there. I've seen that course for years, and it's like just seeing ghosts down there of disc golf past. And it's to me, it's a magical place. I absolutely love it.
It definitely does have that ambiance. I mean, I'm still a new player. That was my first time seeing the course because I don't watch coverage. I should, but it had that feeling every time I stepped up to every single tee. I was like, this is magical. Like every hole felt iconic.
And what after that?
After that, I had local tournaments. Let me see. So I had one at La Mirada, a B tier, where I placed second next to Juliana Korver. What is it?
I said, I know Jules.
Yes.
She is so awesome.
She's one of the nicest, I think, in my opinion, one of the nicest players on tour.
Yep. She was on the podcast, and then it was like almost a year later, I saw her at Winthrop, and I walk up. She was at one of the booths, and she was like, "Hey, Daryl, how you doing?" I was like, "How do you remember me?" I was like, "Oh, that's so awesome."
Yeah. Let's see. I also had the Phoenix Ladies Open, which is a big B tier in Arizona. I got second there to Jennifer Allen. Really close. I almost shot my first 1,000 rated round there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can check that out on Terry's YouTube. He had filmed that one.
All right.
We had Morley Course Championships, the California Disc Golf Series Invitational Championship. So shout out to Andrew and his crew that host that in La Mirada. Let's see. I had a B tier for Dog Haus Open. So shout out to Brent and his crew for hosting their first B tier down in San Diego in Santee.
Nice.
And then had some Birdie Babes, which is our local women's disc golf club. We've been doing Winter League. We've been hosting tournaments. So we've had a couple since then.
Do y'all ever do glow rounds?
At Mast Park, yes.
Mm-hmm. Those are fun, but I cannot get distances right with glow rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of Birdie Babes, that is one of your sponsors.
Yeah, I like to rep them anytime I can. Any local events, I'm trying to wear my Birdie Babe shirts, our new merchandise, or my Birdie Babe socks. I just really want more women to play disc golf.
Yes.
And I want them to feel welcome and not intimidated. And just know that we are there to help teach you, learn how to play, and just have fun together. So
I've seen on your Instagram, you've had many pictures of you working with women playing and with women events and stuff there in San Diego and like in California. So very awesome to see.
Yes, I host the clinics down here in San Diego for the women, and it's really cool to see at every single clinic I've hosted, there's at least one or two new players. So
that is awesome.
Something I will continue to do. Now that I'm back from Austin, I should have more time before the next big trip.
That's awesome. Let's mention your sponsors as well. You have T-Box Socks.
Yes, love their socks always. I have this. I mean, if you watch some of my videos on Instagram, sometimes I'm not wearing their socks because I'm trying to even out my tan. But it looks like I'm still wearing socks. Yep, T-Box socks. I love them. Dog Haus. I mentioned Dog Haus Disc Golf Shop down in Santee. And yep.
Nice.
I've got some new ones I haven't announced yet. So we will announce. Oh, I do want to shout out Visionary Disc Golf. Visionary Disc Golf is one of the new ones that I can announce.
Nice.
So for them, I'm excited to join their team for the first time this year.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And so that's all of our sponsors. And we will mention them again. Links down below for all of her sponsors. So definitely go support them as well. And I know at least one has a discount code. I can't remember which one we wrote down, but I know one of them has a discount. So definitely go and check those out and get you a nice discount. So
the Glow Labs.
Yes. By the way, that looks like an amazing thing for Glow Disc Golf.
Oh, it's amazing. It's this contraption. You put your disc in and it instantly glows your disc. So
that's so great.
Use my code for a discount. They're really cool.
There you go. And the code is Sheliemae. 10% off. All right. And let's see. Was that about the end of last year, starting this year?
I think the only other tournament I had for the beginning of this year was the 47th Annual Wintertime Open. I placed second. I tied with Violet Main, and Owen Scoggins got first on that one. She played incredible. I think that was her first time playing disc golf after her trip. But she still shot an amazing round, over 1,000 rated, especially her third round. Yeah.
She is absolutely amazing.
She gave me hope on the first day. I thought I was shooting pretty well, and then she just went off. If you go back and look at those scores, yes.
Wow.
By the end of by the third round, she had just found her groove, and there was no way we were catching up to her. So really cool to play with Owen always.
It's really cool to see the growth of Owen from being just nothing but forehands. Now her backhand is just truly amazing. It's like what an amazing person she is. Just the consummate showman, just out there making everybody laugh and everybody have a great time. Awesome.
Always.
Shall
we dive into Waco?
Yeah, we're diving into Waco, the beginning of the Texas Swing, your Pro Tour debut for 2025. And what'd you think about Waco? To being someone who's watched for years, I love watching that course, and it really hasn't changed a ton through the years.
Well, my first time playing it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I think, my first real event playing on the Pro Tour. And I cashed. I ended up cashing. I tied for 21st out of 48.
That's
And
all.
this year, going into it, I still kind of had no expectations, right? But I thought I was playing really well. I played one practice round with River, my new friend River, who also caddied for me. So shout out to him. He's amazing.
Hey, River.
I played my practice round and I was like, oh wow, I have gotten better. Like things are looking good. I may have shot the course record during my practice round. Um, and I don't know what happened. Round 1, round 2, round 3, I shot around 920 rating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know why I couldn't hit my lines anymore. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was jet lagged because there's a 2-hour time difference. And then with the time change, so if I was teeing off at 9 o'clock in Texas, it was as if I was teeing off at 6 o'clock in California. Maybe that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It didn't make me sad. It was sort of like that's new. Like that doesn't normally happen to me. But I pushed through. I pushed through. I got to play with Henna, Kona, and Missy on the first day.
Oh my goodness, that's a card.
Yes, I love the first days of the Pro Tour because, you never know who you're going to end up with.
Mm-hmm.
And Henna was just shooting a really, really great round. And that's why I got a shout out on the first round. I birdied hole 17, and they put it on coverage because they happened to be filming because Henna was on my card.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really cool. That was a dream. I played with Kona a bunch of times. She's also great. Missy, that was my first time playing with Missy. Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird because I'm a competitor on the Pro Tour, but I also feel like I haven't passed this phase of just like being a fan of everybody I'm playing with.
I was actually going to ask you that very question.
I still want to take selfies with them. I still want them to sign. I don't ask for signatures. I'm more of like a selfie type of person. But yeah, so on the inside, I'm like, I'm freaking out a little bit. Not as much as I was 2 years ago or last year, but I don't know. Playing with them was a big deal for me.
What's it like watching Henna just throw those just monster bombs out there?
Oh, it's incredible. I even told her, like, I feel inspired after watching her to practice my standstill. I think she can throw farther than me from a standstill.
She has the most amazing standstill and patent pending. She has a great patent pending.
Yes. I am now inspired to go out and work on them because they are one of my weak points.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, and we need those in the woods. And I wish I had practiced it beforehand. But I mean, I'm working on every part of my game, and it is getting better. Just that performance in Waco did not show it.
Mm-hmm. Did the wind affect you in Waco? Because I know it's pretty windy.
Yes, let's talk about the wind. It's not very windy in San Diego ever.
Yes.
And I usually play in the mornings, so it's never windy when I play. So yes, it was extremely windy, and the weather app lied. It said that it wasn't supposed to be windy, but that's Texas for you, I guess.
Yeah.
But yes, it was very, very, very windy. And so I think the hard part for me is, let's say I make the wrong disc choice or I make a mistake or I didn't commit enough because I was scared of what was going to happen. Like it's hard to bounce back from that. At least for me at Waco. So I don't know. I felt like I was hitting my putts pretty well. I wish that my upshots were better and my drives were better so I didn't have to make those putts because putting in the wind is scary. So at least I had that to fall back on. I don't think a 920 rated round was bad for me, but it also just like wasn't nearly my best. So
okay, you talked about practicing some aspects, but is there any way in Southern California to practice wind?
Go to the beach? I don't know. There are some courses in the afternoon that get really gusty.
Okay.
I just don't. It's hard to work out with my schedule.
Yeah.
I've got Bon, and I don't know. I try to practice as much as I can, and I know that it's practicing in the wind is crucial.
Mm.
It's just
especially in Gloria. If you go to Kansas, one of my friends was there, and he's like, it's always wind blowing. There's just nothing you can do. It is always just wind.
Oh, I remember that from DDO. It makes you a better player, though. I think from Waco going into the Open at Austin, I took the lessons I learned from Waco, took them into Austin, and I think that's what helped me get the finish I did.
One of the things about are we done with Waco?
I do want to shout out the other people I played with that I really enjoyed. I played with Holly Finley, always fun to play with. Allie
is awesome.
Yeah, Rebecca Dawn is incredible. She's only 17, but she's one to look out for. So if you're not following her yet on Instagram, go and do it.
We will mention her in Austin as well for a second.
Yes. Jennifer Smiley, Leah, Kaida, all great people.
Jennifer Smiley is actually from Virginia.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to have her on at some time. One thing about Waco, second round, I believe it was, the lead card was on 18, and the cameraman was right there going down. And guess who I saw?
Oh, it was me. You messaged me.
Yes, it was
Bon.
you and little Bon.
Yes.
I was like, I know them.
I love to bring her whenever I can, and it just works out for Texas. Easy to bring her and my mom.
Wait, was your mom? Is she the one that had the little miniatures, like little stick figures? I saw one of them.
No, that was that. Oh, I can shout them out too. They're like my disc golf parents. So Dwayne and Anna. That was Anna who had the figure. You're talking about like this big head, small body.
Yes, it was one of Owen and one of Kristen that I saw.
Yeah, no, that was those are my disc golf parents. They took me. I met them last year at Waco. We got along really well, so they kindly took me in for the weekend
because they were on coverage.
I'm sure they were. They are such big supporters of the FPO. They get there. They're the first people, the first spectators to arrive at both Waco and at Open at Austin. So they're there. They get their seats and they're there cheering on the FPO. They make sure to cheer everybody on.
That is so awesome because they showed them holding the figures, the big heads, and I was like, those are awesome. And then later on, I saw you a picture with them. Owen was holding hers, and I was like, oh wow, I don't know them.
Yeah, so Disc Golf Queens on Instagram. So Anna started an Instagram. So she's going to take them to every disc golf event that they go to and take pictures.
That is so cool. So awesome. Let's see. So, so many great players to play with there. Yeah. And then we went over to Austin.
You ready for Austin?
Well, I mean, do you have anything left for Waco? Or?
No, nothing that comes to mind.
I mean, now
I love that course, so can't wait to go back and get redemption on it.
Yeah, getting a birdie on 17 on that course is pretty good, by the way.
Oh, that was a highlight. That was a highlight of mine. I had, even though I didn't play my best, I was very proud of that hole. I think that hole specifically. My caddy has videos of me that I haven't posted yet on Instagram. I'm behind on my posting.
Hey, you got time. We got time. Sprinkle Valley. We'll let you start, and then there was one little hole that we heard about.
Sure, of course.
And I will tell you my theory about that hole, and then you will tell me what the real issue is.
Okay, yeah.
Let me get to it.
Okay, so open at Austin. I got 7th. Ah!
Yes.
Thank you. I think that's why I haven't posted it yet. I can't really wrap my head around it, and there's been a lot to digest and reflect on, and yeah, if you told me before coming to Texas that I was going to break into the top 10, I would have been like, okay, or maybe not laugh in your face. I know it's not impossible, but I don't know. It's just an exciting time for me. But anyway, at Austin, so we played 2 rounds at Sprinkle Valley, 2 rounds at Harvey Penick. So last year the event was only at Harvey, but all the women played Sprinkle Valley, or the women who played at the U.S. Women's Championship last year played Sprinkle Valley. So I'm familiar with the course. I got in a practice round. They made some changes. They made some holes a little longer, like hole 3. Instead of 300, it was like 360. They did that to a few other holes. They obviously made changes to hole 18. But Sprinkle Valley is just a course. It's so fun, at least for me. I'm like, there's so many trees. There's so many lines you can take. And if you don't hit your line, it's very punishing. So you have to be very precise. Like every hole has its challenge. So it's either a tight gap. The placement shots are tough. There's elevation. I don't know. There's every single hole you need to focus. Otherwise, your score can go creeping up into a really high number. So, I mean, we can go to 17. 17, they added like a wooden fence that you have to get over. So that added difficulty along with the wind.
You used to go all the way around it?
So last year, there was no fence. It was just like a landing zone. This year, they added it for the front side. And so you could actually sneak in through the back if you wanted to and land in bounds. This year, I mean, both days at Sprinkle Valley was really windy. So that was just an added challenge. I'm trying to think if I made it over. I made it over the first round. I landed inbounds and got the birdie. Second round, I did not. But you all want to hear about hole 18.
Well, no. Let me go back to 17. The drop zone on that hole. I mean, they got the antlers there, and you're going through that. I mean, what's that like?
You don't have to go through it.
Yeah.
You can. When I threw from the drop zone the second day, I just went over it. Sure. But it's already scary with the wind. I mean, it's like maybe 70 feet from the pin.
Okay, I didn't realize it was that far. Wow.
70 to 80. I don't remember. But I remember throwing mine, kind of lofting it without really thinking about it. I almost hit it, and my heart sank when I almost hit it. So, I don't know. Again, there's they added difficulty to that hole.
They did show Holland making a putt on that, so I was like, wow.
I did see that.
I was like, that's crazy.
My hope is that I just make it over, but it was really tough with at least when I played it the second round, major headwind and right to left.
Yeah. That's one of the things that coverage was talking. They're like, if anybody that's throwing backhand, most likely it's going to push it wide left almost every time.
Yeah, wide left. Yep.
And that's what was happening to everybody on that hole. Let's see, hole 18.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you my theory on this hole.
Okay, go for it.
All right, my theory is for FPO, that big hump that's where that layup zone right before the last shot going into the green. I feel like that's high enough to be in the way of a lot of FPO's vision of getting a good clear shot at the pin. Because
you mean where the staircase is?
Yes.
Yep.
I call it a hump, but yeah, the staircase. And I feel like it really affects depth perception right there.
Of course.
And I feel like that was really the issue for the FPO. And then the island is not very big to begin with.
No, it's not.
And you have some limbs hanging out. So if you're having to throw high, some of those limbs are going to kind of be in the way. It looked like on the right side from, again, this is just from coverage since I wasn't there.
Right.
Coverage, it looked like a lot on the right side. Some people were catching some of those limbs and knocking them down. And forehands, is kind of going up and fading out. A lot of them short, I noticed. And I just take that to depth perception because of that little hill where the staircase is. That's just my theory on it.
Definitely. Well, we could first start with, so I was saying Sprinkle Valley, every tee shot has a difficulty level, right? Like there, you have to really focus. So just from off the tee, because it was so windy, you could easily be out of bounds on the first shot. Right? So I saw a lot of my disc golf idols, like going out of bounds on the first shot. I would be lying if I told you I wasn't freaking out on my tee shot. I switched discs multiple times. I talked to my caddy, like, okay, maybe I should do this instead, or how do I play it safe? And if I play it safe, like that's already risking also getting a really high number. And so you kind of just have to go and you just have to do it. So that's one. The tee shot already is very difficult. So you see already high numbers just from the tee shot. We haven't even gotten to the hump yet.
Let me ask you this about that. Yeah. How long did you have to wait? Because I saw some long backups on that hole.
Yeah. First day, I didn't have to wait.
That would drive me crazy too.
Yeah. First day, I didn't have to wait because I was on a card of 3. There were 3 cards of 3 that teed off first. The second day, we finished hole 17. And there were 2 cards in front of us.
Okay.
And so it's still a long wait because we have to wait, for everybody else. So once you throw, they do their upshots. We can't do their upshots until they've all cleared the island or made it past the hump. So it was a long time. Maybe, I want to say like 15, 20 minutes. So.
I mean, that's a long time to think about that tee shot.
Yes. So that's okay. So that's the very beginning. The second shot, you want to make it past those large wooden obstacles that they put, and the wind. At least for me, the wind is always in my mind. I'm trying to defeat the wind. Okay.
Yeah, I hate it.
And so, yeah, I mean, for me, those 2 shots are already tough. My third shot, I can choose to try to cross over the island or make it onto the island. And the first day, I didn't have a look. I was short. I was in the trench. There was a tree. And so I just pitched up to in front of the stairs. Second day, I was about to go for it. I was about 280 feet, but I had like a weird footing. I was like talking myself into it, like, you can do it, you can do it. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, nope, you shouldn't do it, because if you miss, you're going to have to rethrow. And you're taking at minimum an 8. Already. And so my game plan, I tried to stick to it as much as I could and be disciplined. I was like, I'm aiming for a maximum of 6, which is a bogey. I'm shooting for a bogey on this hole, which I didn't even get. I ended with an 8 the first day and a 7 the second day. So that's how hard this hole is. And it's kind of silly, but like there's lots of reasons why they did that. I think in the end, like, we all had to play the same thing. We all prepared for it the same way. It's just a matter of like how we executed it. And honestly, in the back of my mind too, is like, for future, how much of the FPO is chiming into these course designs? I don't know, but maybe it's something to think about. Anyway, so third shot is usually, if you haven't gone OB, like, you've already taken your third shot to approach right before the hump. And then your second shot, you want to at least cross over. So that crossover, Daryl, you were right. Like, I'm short.
Yeah.
But even people who are a little bit taller than me, like, your view is still obstructed by that stairs. And then it's a small tunnel. So there are trees hanging on that left side. And so if you throw a backhand and it fades out too early, you're going to hit those trees. If you try to do a turnover, it's going to hit the trees on the right. I remember how obtrusive like the right side is. But my goal was like just throw something straight through. If I was 200 feet, like I'm throwing my mid straight through. If I was more than 200 feet and I was going for it, like I'm gonna just go to a driver. I'm just making sure I cross over the inbounds. I don't care if it lands outside the box, whatever it is. I'm going to save strokes on the field if I just make it over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not throwing it again. That was my game plan. Yeah, so I threw it over, didn't make the island, lay it up from the drop zone, tap it in. So I saw some people try to make it from the drop zone and it would like hit something and it would go out of bounds, which is really unlucky. Same thing with just normal putts. You know, it's just so close to that OB on the other side. Like for me, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
I saw the numbers everybody was putting up the first day and I was like, we're playing this for a bogey.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you look at someone like Kristen getting an 11 day one and a 10 day two,
it hurts my heart.
Yeah. I mean, when she was there and just started crying,
Yep.
I mean, my heart sunk. And at one point, she threw one and it came up short. You see Paige Pierce going over, almost want to hug her and be like, oh my gosh. And she's like, oh, that didn't go out. I thought that was in. She's like, no, it was short.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh.
And it's on that platform too. So if you don't throw it high enough, it looks like it's going over. Mm-hmm. It'll hit that platform.
I mean, because my thought after now, like been a week later, I was just thinking Simon Lizotte on that one hole last year where he was like, if I just go over it, I'm going to get at worst a bogey and win the tournament. And I'm almost like, just throw it hard past the thing and just lay up your putt and take your medicine on it. And I was just in my mind, like that is so contradictory to what you think.
Yes. And hopefully there are changes for next year where we don't have to do that. Because to me, that's not golf. I mean, but you can see there were players that played it perfectly. Some birdied it. Some birdied it. Some played.
I think that Merch. I know. I'm pretty sure she got a birdie on that. I was like, "That's
Chantel." I know got a birdie on it.
Chantel did. I didn't realize that. For those who don't know, Miss Frisbee's here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I saw it on her Instagram. I'm big fans. Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So it's tough. Lessons learned for both players and for course designers and the Pro Tour in general. Like every round, what makes us better.
Is there anything on that hole you would say if they could change this? I think that'd make the hole so much better and so much. I hate to say easier, but yeah.
I mean, still challenge. I mean, I liked how they had it last year. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't an island last year.
Mm-hmm.
That whole strip was inbounds.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they could have made it a hazard instead of having to throw over.
Mm-hmm.
But they did put out a statement why they don't do that because of recently it's been flooding there and it's not safe. So they did it as a safety thing. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, wind you can't control, so there's that. But watching it, I was just like, man, this is hard to watch.
It's hard also because it's hole 18, right? Mm-hmm. It's at the very end. Sprinkle Valley, it's you just like trying to survive out there, it also depends on like how your round was going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a very, very tough hole overall, especially being the last hole.
I mean, when I see the course, my first thought is hole 1. I'm like, oh, this looks like it's going to be a great fun course.
Yeah, it is
just get beat up all the way.
If there weren't any trees on disc golf courses, it wouldn't be fun.
True. That's true. That is very true. It's just like who can throw the furthest. That's pretty much it. Yeah. But let's see. Take my glasses off so I can see.
So it
Hole
is
one, you were 6 over. And I'm not hole one, round one.
round one. Both rounds I was 6 over.
I was like, I sure hope you weren't 6 over.
So I think I got more. I can't remember which round I got more birdies. I had a rough start on round one. I think I ended with like five over on the first 9, and I pulled it together.
Yep, 5 over. Yep.
In the second half. The second day, I didn't shoot as many birdies as I wanted, but I played cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
So I had gotten more used to the discs I was throwing and which ones I was choosing. So I was throwing forehands like a monster. when I say monster, it's like compared to how I normally play.
Mm-hmm.
I think I threw more forehands than I did backhands for upshots. And I think that's what saved me through Sprinkle Valley and even the wooded holes at Harvey Pennock. At this time last year, so I was joking with my caddy. So shout out to Cody, dude, where's my par on Instagram. He caddied for me all rounds of Open at Austin. He also caddied for me last year at Women's Championship, so at Sprinkle Valley. So he knows my game. But last year, I would avoid forehand at any cost. I was like, if I could throw a backhand or even a roller, like I will do it instead of a forehand. So it's kind of cool to just see my progress and feel my progress for myself. Like Cody would say, throw a backhand. I'm like, nope, the forehand anti-flex line is wide open. I'm taking that. And he's like, okay. So I'm really, really, really proud of that. Yeah, I really think that was the big difference maker in playing in wooded courses is being confident with my forehand shot.
Yep. I am very confident with my forehand, and my backhand is absolutely trash. So I've got forehands all over the place on holes that should not be forehanded. But yeah, we don't have a ton of time left.
Okay.
So let's run through Harvey Pennock real quick.
Okay.
Let's see.
The first day I shot -1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Harvey Pennock, my first round. I played with Jessica Weiss, Evelina, and Missy Gannon. Really cool.
I mean, I can't imagine playing with people like that.
Yep.
They're human beings, first of all. But in my mind, I'm like, these are.
No, it's funny because just at Waco, like less than a week ago, I was asking Evelina to take pictures with me and Bonbon. So it's fun. It's fun to play with people that you just like really look up to, and it's mind blowing a little bit.
That is so.
But
cool.
I didn't have much time to, just. I couldn't think about it too much. Basically, I had to focus on my game and like stay in the zone and focus on what I'm throwing. And because Harvey Pennock is just a different. It's a big golf course with lots of OB with some wooded holes sprinkled in. So I had to really, really focus.
I want to mention 2 people first off. Rebecca Cox. I'm such a fan, and she was playing so well. And leading on round 3, going in round 3, I thought that was awesome. And Rebecca Don, who you mentioned earlier, up and coming, so young, and she's got so much confidence in her game. Very, very cool to see. I just wanted to give a shout out to them because it's so cool to see them. See their games were, and coincidentally, both named Rebecca. That wasn't on purpose. So anyway,
Rebecca Dawn, if you didn't watch her, she was on coverage on Chase Card. I believe she got to play with Kristen and the whole Chase Card. They're all great. I don't watch coverage, but I might because I love Rebecca Dawn. Like as good of a player she is, she's also a really nice human being. And I got to meet her family at Waco on the party at the bridge, so where they were all vending. So really, really great, and I hope to play with her again soon.
So what's the major differences in the 2 courses? We've only got like 5 minutes.
Okay. Harvey Pennock is again big golf course, lots of OBs, more placement shots. and really just you need to be confident off the tee. Like you need to know what the wind is doing, what your disc is going to do, and you need to stay in bounds. So it kind of got me the first round. I still shot a -1, which I big improvement from last year. I don't think I shot under par last year. But I took 2 OB strokes on one hole. I did that twice the first round. And so I was just so determined to clean that up for the second round at Harvey. So at finals, I made the cut. Yeah, I was 9th place going into finals. I got to play with Chantal, Raven, Deanne, all amazing.
I got to say something about Deanne right quick.
Yeah.
You posted, I think it was you or someone posted a picture.
It was Cody.
One?
It was Cody.
Cody?
Yeah, Cody is my.
You have this, and I posted, you faked out Deanne, and she commented, she faked me out every time.
And I commented it's a habit from Ultimate. Like it helps me because when I do my fake or like my pump, if it doesn't feel good, I will do it again.
Right.
You know, if it feels like I'm off centered, I will just take a breath, do it again until it feels really good, and I can do it relaxed. And so, yep, I faked her out a bunch of times. We have a lot of proof. That was just hole 1. So. Cody, who caddied for me, filmed a lot of my shots.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing those. Okay, and what else? 3 and 4? Round 3 and 4.
Round 3 and 4. Yeah, it just, I don't know. My game felt good. I think a big difference between Waco and Austin was one, my caddy, Cody. I want to shout him out a ton. So Dude Where's My Par on Instagram. He was a 2000 rated caddy. So he not only like helped me, pull my discs. He every time I turned around, he had options. Like he knew my game. I played one practice round with him and it wasn't even. Yeah, he just knew. Like these are the options. What am I going to throw? I had him like help me with the wind, see how far the pin was. He even reminded me to eat and, have my snack, drink water, everything. And the best part was if I said something negative because I made a mistake, a silly mistake, he immediately said something positive.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I even told him, I was like, wow, that makes a big difference. On the mental load, and I can like stay in my zone. Like if I'm shooting great, I continue to shoot great. If I make a mistake, like he immediately helps me like get back on track. So that I had learned my lessons from Waco. And what was another big difference maker? I think just shooting confidently. Like I know my game. Like on hole 1, I remember like talking to myself, like I'm on that stage, they announce my name. I'm like, just throw it. You know how to throw 270, 280 to a pin. Just do it.
That's awesome. I mean, like you said you were with Evelina, Jessica, and Missy, and then they call your name, and you see that big screen off to the right. It was huge.
Oh. I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at the pin and talking to myself.
I was like, wow. I mean, I like that pressure with them there. I was like, man, I would that'd be scary.
Yeah. But yeah. I know a lot of people ask me about that. Like, how do I'm actually looking at my Instagram. They gave me questions. Caitlin, Iron Root Strength asks, how do you clear your mind and stay present on the shot you're on regardless of score? I think I touched upon that. It's you just have to do it with practice. Do it when you're out on a course. I try to do that in casual rounds when I'm practicing putting. I try not to talk bad about myself, like saying like you suck, like no, it's you can do this. You just released it early. Like you got it. Like give yourself grace when you're practicing. And you just have to do that in tournaments. So
I kind of give myself like 5 seconds of, oh, that was stupid, and followed by, I do this a lot when I start making mistakes. You will hear me say this out loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I got the next shot. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I do that a ton.
Mm-hmm. Everybody needs a Cody. Everybody needs a Cody to caddy for them to
the Cody caddy.
Say something positive every time you make a mistake and wanna beat yourself up about it. He won't let you.
Except my friend Chris. I hit a tree. I turn around. He's got the biggest grin on his face. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
That's so wrong of you, man. Let me. Do you have any more things for that?
Not for that. No. I just have shout outs.
Okay, I just want to say this. Back 8, the final 8, because 9 was a bogey, but you were 4 under on the final 8 holes. So going down the stretch, you hit that gas pedal.
I was grinning. I think on 9, I can't remember which one hole 9 is, but I went OB on a hole that I had gone OB twice the day before, and I threw my tee shot. And I was like, that is perfect. Maybe it was a little too low, but it had an unlucky skip going to the OB. I was like, there's no way I'm getting a second OB on this hole. There's no way. I'm playing better than yesterday, no matter what. And so I think from then on, I was like, I just kept telling myself, like, nope, you belong here. You know how to play. You earned the spot. I didn't look at scores. I didn't look at scores until like an hour after the round was over.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to play better. And when I was doing that and I stayed in bounds on, I think like hole 11 or 13, I can't remember which one it was, a hole that I had gone OB on twice the day before, I just birdied.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I had the biggest smile on my face.
Probably 11.
Probably the really long one.
I mean,
I had a C2 putt.
Yeah, 110 feet.
Yeah. C2 putt to an elevated basket, and I think that's when I was like, that's when the flip switched in me. The next hole, I threw my drive. It didn't go exactly the way I wanted, but I had, I think, I don't know, like a 30-foot putt. Mm-hmm. I went for it, went in. The next hole had a birdie look. I didn't make it. I was off just by a little bit. The next hole, I birdied a hole I didn't think I would. I threw a forehand off the tee when Cody says, nope, backhand hyzer. I'm like, nope, I'm throwing a forehand. Birdied it. I learned my lessons from the day before. So basically what I'm saying is like, I use that in my confidence and just keep going. Just keep going. Don't look at, I told myself, like, you don't need to look at the scores. You're going to play this hole as best you can. And I don't know. It's fun. I was very much in a flow state. So.
Yeah. Once you get locked in, man, it feels good. It feels so good.
I just want to do that from the very beginning. From day one of Sprinkle Valley, I want to do that.
You said you didn't look at the scores until an hour later. You didn't look at your text because it was like 5 minutes after you finished. I was like, oh my gosh, 7th place.
Yes. Lots of people were messaging me from back home. I do want to thank them, everybody from San Diego and just my friends. The support means so much. I wrote them down here. I just want to thank my sponsors, Doghouse, Birdie Babes, T-Box Socks, Visionary, Glow Labs, everybody. San Diego is great. I do want to shout out Coach Taylor and Bruce. Yep. So Bruce has helped me a ton, helped raise my disc golf IQ by a ton. Coach Chris Taylor on Instagram. There's no way I would be getting a birdie on an uphill 350-foot hole without that man. He's just been very patient working with me. I think almost a year and a half ago, maybe less than a year and a half ago, was the first time he worked with me. And his very first words to me after he saw me throw was, we have a lot of work to do. I hope he's watching this because I thought that's pretty funny. But yeah, so now I feel good. Like I birdied a hole at Sprinkle Valley, 350 feet up the hill, like no problem, like parked, like not even a long C1, C2 putt. Like I get it there. And so I don't know, pretty big win, just seeing how I can play and seeing my potential, seeing I haven't like reached my ceiling yet. It's just fun to see. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to play disc golf. Yeah. So yeah, my support system is solid, and I'm super grateful for that. I'm grateful for just even having the opportunity to play on the pro tour. I don't know. It's a dream.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I like being to me, like the little time we've known, the little time we talked. I consider you a friend, and I really am enjoying the ride, watching you out there playing and doing your thing, and the constant improvement over last year to this year. It's very evident that you're putting in the time and the work to get there. So awesome to see. So very awesome to see.
Thank you.
So, anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As per usual, we were 10 minutes over.
Yeah.
Shelly, thank you for being here. It means so much, and definitely we'll be following along with you as we keep going, and hopefully, another video, another podcast later on for more updates. So, thank you again.
Sounds good. Thank you, Derek. I could talk to you about disc golf all day. So
Yeah, I know we try we're cutting off that. But
yeah.
What?
But yeah, if anybody has questions for me, like feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. Let's see.
We're seeing new FBO make cash and
Thanks.
top tens. Yes, exactly. And they did not talk. They did not talk about you enough. They were talking about Evelina trying to keep her streak of top tens alive. They didn't talk about you enough on there.
Oh, thank you. It was a big deal for me. And again, I'll post about it soon.
But that's all we got. And you guys have an incredible day.